being profitable without any direction is like a beautiful multi-million dollar sailboat without a rudder. You're out there wherever the wind's going to carry you. And it's hard to understand if you've not obtained profitability yet, but it's a problem being profitable. It sounds like an oxymoron. It sounds like this can't be true. How can you have a problem being profitable? But yet you do once you get there. Because you start wondering, okay, well, I've been making this much, this consistently. I do have losing trades, but I come out on top over the course of the week or the month. But where do I go next? What do I do with it? The exercise of just doing it alone is honing your experience and your edge. That goes without saying. But where do you go? What do you aim for? What are you trying to do? What structure should you start applying to your business of trading? See, it's not enough to say, well, I want to make $1 million, because $1 million is not a lot of money. I've already spent $1 million this year, and I don't have much to show for it. But you have to have a goal. You have to have something to aim for. And there has to be a structure behind that. So one of the series I had intended to do once I completed the private mentorship stuff, and we're done now, that I would sit down and kind of give a public blueprint of what I wish I would have been given as a 20-year-old. Just discovering profitability, figuring out that, yes, I could be consistent with bonds. Yes, I could be consistent with the S&P. And I put away all the mega trade. I have to do only those types of setups, where the big run-ups in the marketplace. I was only focusing on that because Larry Williams said that's where I should be focusing. And because I was looking for that all the time, there was all these trades that were occurring daily, weekly, monthly, that I was really not paying attention to or even aware of because I didn't have the skill set at the time. I was profitable, but I was looking for big trades most of the time. So I would do a bond trade or an S&P trade and one contract, and then realize that I'm consistent with one contract. And you've recently saw me this year just do one contract of the S&P and NASDAQ and double the account. That was a real account, and I showed losing positions. I did all kinds of things to handicap myself and still doubled the account. So for some of you, 100% return sounds too lofty, but I can tell you what you've already been given is easy to obtain that. But you have to have the skill set and discipline to adhere to picking your right setups and trying not to trade every single day. I want to have a setup that gives me a consistent framework that goes into the marketplace that even a neophyte that doesn't have a long time behind them of profitability, but just recently found consistency with this model on YouTube, that they can go in and feel comfortable. This is the setup I'm looking for. It makes sense. It's there. I can engage it. And then once it gets to a profit objective, stop, turn the computer off, and go do something else. That's what I have in mind for the new developing, recently profitable student with this mentorship. But you now have a problem, don't you? You want to do more. You want to do more. You want to trade more, just like I started thinking, well, I'm doing one contract. And I was trying to make $1,000 a month to save so I could retire at 40. I was willing to put those 20 years in. But then I realized that, wow, I could do $1,000 a week with no real effort. This is a lot easier than I thought it was. Now, don't let me mislead you, folks. This is the 20-year-old that was getting lucky. And I started thinking to myself, wow, I could do this every week. And then it became, well, I could day trade the bonds. I'll look at the divergence between the 5, 10, and 30 year. And when they're diverging and I have a bias that's bullish, I know I can go in and buy it. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Then I started making $1,000 a day. So I'm 20 years old and I'm looking around at my friends and they're working Like one guy's working at a gas station, another guy, he's working at a meat market where he's cutting up meats and such. And they're doing okay, I guess, for our age bracket. And I'm doing $1,000 a day in less than 45 minutes. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I can do a lot more if I started trading more contracts. Because